It was exactly 1 week ago that Premier Doug Ford held a press conference to announce that the provincial government will soon table legislation to ban the use of speed cameras. This came as quite the shock to the city of Burlington, who the week prior to this had just announced their plans for an automated speed enforcement program, which included putting up signs to let residents know that cameras would begin to operate in 90 days from the announcement. So where does that leave the city now? That was my question to Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward.
Well, the collective we, many municipalities, a couple dozen mayors, many council members are saying that this is not okay. Speed cameras save lives, they work, they slow people down. All the data collected from municipalities that are further along than us that have used these have shown this reduced speeds. We know that speed kills. And so, we're going to keep trying to appeal to the premier to change his mind on this one. You got it wrong. Municipalities that don't want to install them are free not to do so, but don't take the right away from those municipalities and our constituents who have been asking for this program. I have received overwhelming support from my constituents to keep the programs. We haven't even installed our first camera. We just announced that it's coming because that in the legislation, you have to tell people it's coming before you turn it on. So we haven't even turned on our first camera. All 6 of them in Burlington are in front of school zones. I was at a rural forum a couple of weeks ago before the premier made this announcement. Their biggest concern was traffic. They have a school on a major rural road. You can't put speed bumps there. You can't put roundabouts. When they were told that a speed camera was coming to their school, the whole place erupted in applause, like finally, because they get police cannot be everywhere at all times. So this is a public safety issue. I'm hoping to that if enough of us ask the premier to at least allow these in front of school zones, that we might have a shot to keep most of the program that is going to save the lives of the most vulnerable in our community. Keep that alive and keep them alive.
Now, I know Burlington you just made the announcement. I'm curious if this can't go forward. Have you already bought the speed cameras? Has the city bought them? And if this can't go forward, is it like Amazon? Can you put them in a box and send them back?
I don't know how it works, actually, but we have already invested, I can tell you, in significant amount of prep work, because you don't just throw up a camera. So in last year's budget, we invested a couple of $100,000 to ensure that we did an appropriate review of streets in our community, because the legislation is very prescriptive. People don't know about that. So they can only be at community safety zones. Now, a municipality can define an area in front of a park, for example, or in front of a school as a safety zone. So we studied that. We reviewed all of our streets. We looked at traffic data. We spent tens of thousands of dollars to determine where most warranted, right? We're not just going to put these on every street corner. And that's the data that has come back, that it is most warranted in front of 6 schools. 4 out of the 6 are elementary schools. Most of them are on major corridors. Again, not suitable for speed bumps. We already have the flashing signals. We already have police going. We've tried all the other measures, is the point. And so we're a couple $100,000 already in the hole that council was okay with, because we know the fines will help to recoup some of those costs, so the taxpayers aren't paying for this. So this program is actually the opposite of a tax grab. It's actually a tax lift, because what it does is it will fund future traffic calming from fines and speeders, who are the problems and the reason why we need traffic calming, and everyone else gets a break on their taxes because they're not paying for this.
So now at this juncture, we've got, just this morning actually, I heard that Brampton City Council has said they're not going to obey the province's ban. I mean, that's what they've said. If you get to that point, would Burlington consider doing something similar?
Yeah. I believe in following the law, so I'm not one of those that's going to ever get a ticket. But you wait for winning conditions. So these may sit in storage if we can't turn them on until this government or future government comes to their senses, looks at the data, listens to the Association of Chiefs of Police, listens to constituents, listens to municipalities, saying this saves lives, and God help us if somebody gets hurt in the meantime. But we are going to keep pushing to save this program and keep it, and hope that if this government, then a future government will make that change.